In remote northern communities in Ontario, an imposed history of colonialism, residential schools, inequitable distribution of resources, and geographical isolation have all contributed to a depth of impoverishment not seen elsewhere in the province. Historically, First Nation communities have suffered a loss of land, education, language, culture, and identity.
The North-South Partnership for Children represents a coalition of individuals and organizations from Southern Ontario. The collective goal of the partnership is to learn from one another while addressing the needs of these 30 First Nation communities.
Mamokikandamawin, or Searching Together, is how the partnership learns about First Nations priorities. Among the 30 First Nations communities, Band Council members and elders consistently identify two main priorities: housing and youth. Because youth are so important within the communities, we wanted to know what is important to them. Elementary students from Thomas Fiddler Memorial School in Sandy Lake drew pictures of what was important to them and their community. Each student had the opportunity to tell us about their drawing and explain why their pictures were important. Older students from the elementary school and high school talked about their priorities in small groups, then placed paper stars beside their top 3 priorities. Here are their main priorities compared with their realities.
Housing was repeatedly identified as a priority for the students in Sandy Lake. First Nations people are prohibited from owning property or securing a mortgage. They literally cannot borrow money from banks to build, buy, or renovate homes. What is more, they are prohibited from logging on the Crown land that surrounds their reserves. According to Statistics Canada, more than 46% of homes in Sandy Lake First Nation need major repairs. The students reported wanting enough homes in the community so that they wouldn't have to live with other people. Most homes occupy more than one family and can range from 5 to 15 people living in one home.
Another important priority that students identified was food. On average, the cost of food in First Nation communities is 2 to 4 times higher than it is in the South. This is a result of the high cost of transporting food to remote, fly-in communities. The cost of food prevents healthy lifestyle choices that can lead to unhealthy weight gain, diabetes, and a range of other health issues that hinders quality of life.
Children and youth feel strongly that family is incredibly important to their community. Through family, each learns about their community, cultural practices, traditions, and language. Children repeatedly drew pictures of their loved family members and told us about the care and support that they provide.
The youth expressed a longing to be connected with their culture. The youth in Sandy Lake want to learn the traditional way of doing things: hunting, rabbit snaring, cooking, and art. They are also interested in learning their native language. When asked who they want to learn from, the youth identified their grandparents and elders in the community. The youth showed a deep respect for those who knew and practiced their traditional ways.
Children and youth identified recreation as one of the most important things for their community. Committed youth leaders and teachers come together to provide after-school programs to keep the youth engaged. However, a lack of financial and physical resources limits the number of children who can participate. There is not enough programming to meet the overwhelming demand. A youth center is in the process of being built in Sandy Lake. Again, a lack of resources has delayed the completion of the project. Youth expressed a desire for malls, movie theaters, bowling alleys, and parks, all things taken for granted in the South. There is a need for organized sports teams, musical equipment, and recreational activities such as soccer, baseball, hockey, broomball, and basketball. The youth communicated a connection between boredom and increasing drug use and alcohol consumption among their peers. The youth felt if they had productive options for their free time, that their community would be a healthier and safer place to live.
Mamaushawishagewin, the North-South Partnership for Children, is committed to learning and understanding the needs of First Nation communities in Ontario. When these needs are understood, the partnership will match resources from the South to the designated community in the North. However, the ultimate goal of the partnership is to accurately present the voices of the people in each community. So perhaps an elder should have the final word. During a conversation with Don Sophia from Summer Beaver, he said, "Do not simply give us the tools to build and then leave. Come here and build with us." May his words continue to inspire us all to build together to create meaningful and sustainable relationships with our First Nation communities.